Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It is, I don't even know what date it is, I think it's Wednesday. We fly out to Scotland a week on Saturday, so not long to go. I've got 6 shifts left at work and I'm already in holiday mode, so I'm looking forward to it. I've pretty much got over the flu. It's lingering a little bit, but not much. And as you can see, I've had my beard trimmed. I'm not quite as nasally as I have been the last few shaves, but I'm still feeling just a little bit under the weather. And I think the guy's done an alright job. Surprisingly, I sit in the chair at the barber's about the same amount of time I used to for a haircut, and this cost me $10. A haircut used to cost me 25, so go figure, I don't really get it. But it does an alright job, looks a bit neater and tidier, and it's pretty much ready for the holiday now. I've also had, on a side note, from a horrible point of view, I've had my ears syringed today, and I can hear everything again. It's brilliant. I've got a problem where wax doesn't actually leave my ears naturally. It builds up over a long period of time and then end up pretty much stone deaf. It works for a while when you're deaf, but then the wife nagging all the time just becomes too much. So now I've got to put up with her saying things 3 times when I hear it perfectly the first time. So it's quite difficult, as you can imagine, for you blokes out there. Right. Oh, and women. Blokes or women, I suppose. Right, what am I doing? Soap. Getting a bit carried away here. Noble Otter Lonestar. Now this is a leather scented soap which I really enjoy. It's got that leather through it, and it's a real nice, sort of smooth, natural leather scent, but there's a lot more going on in here. In fact, if anything, what I would sort of describe this as is it almost smells similar to if you got a leather scent and switched it into a barber's shop scent. Now, it smells a little bit like Bar from Noble Otter, but that leather scent totally changes everything, and there's a little bit more in here. I'm not sure what the scent notes are. Oh, here we are. I'm not sure what the scent notes are, but there they are. Lemon, sage, magnolia, Texas cedar, oak moss, leather, and hay. It's just a real nice, it's an intoxicating scent, really nice, and I do enjoy it. And of all the Noble Otter scents, Bar is my favourite, followed by Lonestar. Right, the brush for today is my Similk Owners Club Limited Edition, Special Edition, Owners Club 2012. That makes this brush 7 years old now. Now you can see the tips there have gelled a little bit. This is 50% boar, 50% badger, and it is pretty much an identical knot of the Similk Caravella, which is probably their most famous knot and most highly regarded knot. Now it took pretty much the best part of a year to soften this brush up to the point that I really enjoy it. It's got enough scritch and scratch, not too much for my taste, but just enough. So here we go, straight into the soap. It creates a great lather, it releases the lather nicely. The only thing I will say with it is that it will sort of eat the lather, so I'm going to be doing a head shave today and my neck, and it will eat the lather a little bit while it's sat there and I'm shaving my head. But that's just this knot for you. I think it's boar hair, to be honest. I don't find badger hair tends to do it quite so much. I'm just going to scoop, hang on a minute, just let me wet the head first. I'm just going to scoop some of this excess from the tub and just plonk it on there while I'm still loading the brush. Waste not, want not. As you can see, I get a real good heavy load into the brush today. I've already packed up my what do you call them? Travel bags, I suppose, for my shaving stuff. I've already done that already, even though I'm not flying out for 2 weeks, pretty much still. Well, a week and a half. Right, the brush is caked, it is chock-a-block. Let's just start painting this on. Noble Otter for me. Now this is tallow based soap. This is pretty much as good as it gets in terms of performance. The scents on Noble Otter are very nice as well. I haven't had the pleasure of trying some of their other scents. I have tried all their original 6 scents that came out this year, or not their original scents because they've been around for a little while now, but the latest formula and new scents. And I liked them all apart from the Flying Hide, I think it was, which was just a leather scent. I thought that was pretty average. I mean, it smelled like leather, so I suppose it did exactly what it said on the tin. It just wasn't my type of scent. I didn't enjoy it at all. I actually sent that one over to Spencer, and I think he's got it up for sale now because it's obviously not his type of scent either. This for me is a perfect leather scent. Leather is the forward note in this, along with the sort of wood and the hay, but leather is the right at the forefront of this scent. And it smells absolutely superb. Look at that lather. You can just see that, look at that. Superb. Probably a little bit dry for my taste, but I'm going to leave it like that. I'm actually enjoying, believe it or not, a slightly drier lather. I still like the volume in it, I still like the thickness and stuff like that, but that slightly drier lather seems to give me a little bit more residual slickness. Right, the razor for today is this. Now this is the Coles home branded razor from over in Australia. It's also the exact same razor that you buy from Woolworths in Australia, the grocery store. It does have a little blade here, but it's absolutely useless, it does nothing. It's 5-blade cartridge. The cartridges are very cheap compared to Gillette and things. It's very smooth for probably 10 shaves or so, and then it starts to really roughen up a bit and it's pretty much done. Whereas the Gillette cartridge, as you guys know that watch, is on about 30 to 40, probably 40 plus shaves now from one cartridge, which I find incredible. Now I have been made aware that this razor itself is made by Persona in the States, I believe, and of all the Persona cartridges, this is apparently one of the most reliable that they make. I haven't had a bad one yet. I've used 4 I think, and I haven't had a bad one, so you can see that lather, it's lovely and dense, it's not going anywhere, and let's get stuck in. Now I'm going to rinse this razor a little bit more regular than I do the Gillette, for the sole fact that it doesn't rinse out anywhere near as good as the Gillette razor does. That's super smooth. It's cleaning out nicely. Yeah, there's nothing sticking in there. See, it's just doing this. It just blocks up a little bit, this razor. It does not have the same flow through you get from the Gillette or the 4-blade head blade cartridges. The HB4, which are also made by Persona, I believe. Excellent cartridges. I don't have any left. It's partly the reason why I'm not using the head blade quite as much, because the 3-blade carts are just crap. They get the job done, but they are really built for everyday shaves, which I don't do generally. I'm a sort of every 2 to 4 day shave normally. When I'm under the weather, every 14 days. Like I have been with this bloody flu. Right, onto the back. Yeah, so it's starting to just clog up a little bit. I can't remember who it was. Someone mentioned this before when I first started using this, when I gave it real high praise, and it is a really super smooth, comfortable razor to use, but for some reason the way they've designed it, it doesn't allow the water to flow through very much. You can see the back of it is really closed up with plastic, and it doesn't allow a great flow through on the blades themselves. Now, as long as you're constantly cleaning it and keeping on top of it, it'll be fine. And you guys out there that use cartridge razors all the time will know once it's clogged up, if you don't clean it out straight away and you leave it, it goes hard, and then it's pretty much a problem you never get rid of with that particular cartridge. It won't last very long, and then you're on to another cartridge very quickly. So you've got to really make sure that you get right in there and get these cartridges cleaned. Right, well that is almost BBS. All I'm going to do now, I'm just going to the sink out. It is winter over here now in WA. We have had some horrendous, horrific, wet, windy weather the last 3 days, but I've actually quite enjoyed it. I've worked through most of it, so nothing better than being at work when it's like that, because no one comes out to travel on the trains. So it's not quite as busy for me. Right, let's just add a little bit of water. Oh, look at that residual slickness for days. Yeah, this stuff is just the bollocks. Much nuts. If you're looking for a real high quality soap base, you might not like the scents. They also do an unscented, I believe, if you're not a fan of any of the scents and you just want the performance of it. But this stuff for me really is the toppest of the top. Superb. And as you can see, the blades have cleaned out nicely. Let's say you just keep on top of it and you won't have any issues. I'm just going to rinse off now. And that is a superb BBS head shave. Doesn't get much better than that for me. And let's move on to the neck. A little bit of water. I've already done my cheeks, as you can see they've lowered down a little bit, so I took a little bit of a chunk out there unfortunately, so I'm just going to have to leave that sort of staggered. It doesn't look too bad, but it's what it is. They're never perfect. Part of the reason why I don't think I'll ever keep a beard forever. And I've had mixed reviews, so mixed comments on YouTube with it. People saying keep it, people saying get rid of it. To be honest, I do miss the full face shaves. I miss the full experience of it, but I'm still getting to shave my head, and I'm still getting to use the brushes and the soaps, and I'm still getting to shave my neck, so I'm still enjoying shaving in general. Look at this lather, wow. Right, the razor for today, it's a vintage Gillette. I believe this is a Tech, I'm not sure. Very head heavy, the handle is almost probably a third or a quarter the weight of the head really. Hollow handle, very small. I mean, it's tiny, it's pretty much the same size as my carved 3-inch, but it's a nice little razor. I'll just check, I haven't opened this up for a long time, I don't know what blade's in it. Surprise, surprise. Gillette super thin. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. Yep, Gillette super thin, which is one of my favourite blades, if not my favourite blade, especially modern blade. Superb, here we go. Now, people often ask, do these shade much different to premium high-end modern razors? Are they worth the money over them? You know, is it worth actually buying a carved razor for 270 bucks or however much the stainless one's going to be when you can get a Gillette Tech for, probably pick one of these up for about 20 bucks on eBay? And the only answer I can give to that, for me personally, is yes. I would rather have a modern razor, because for some reason, I don't get attached to vintage items in general. I've had a beautiful vintage dual duck brush, it was a beautiful brush, it just needed a new knot in it, which I just sent to Spencer, gave it away to Spencer, and it was a lovely brush. But that's the main reason, really, why they don't stand the test of time in my den. And the other thing being, a load of weepers here, where the hell did they come from? Oh. Right, let's just rinse the tub of soap out, as always. Got to get all this residue off the top, otherwise I cannot put the soap away. All these little habits you get from the shaving. Well, that I get, not everyone's. This is, I just have to do it. Like, put everything back pristine and clean like I got it. There's enough lather in there to do at least another 2 passes comfortably. Probably 3 full face shaves I could have got from that one load, including my head. That's what the knot looks like when you really flick all the water up. Really nice little brush, lovely handle. Give it a quick flick on the towel, get some of the excess water out of there. Oh, sorted. Look at that, holy shit. Right, I'm just going to rinse that actually. Give it a quick dry, and then I'm going to finish off today with some Moisture Shave Tea Tree Aftershave Bump Preventer. Really good stuff. Good splash for the head. Gives a cracking burn, like whoa. It's just an initial whack and then it goes away instantly. Now this is a very fruity scented product. There's quite a lot of irritation on my neck there as well from that razor. You can really feel it. And it does generally help a little bit with closing up some of the pores, but I'll finish all of that off in due course off of the camera. So today we use Lather Bros, Noble Otter, Lonestar, beautiful leather scented soap with a little bit more going on. But really, Noble Otter is the base of the soap, is where it's at. That's why it's so good for me, and it really is at the top and above most, pretty much all soaps that I use. Closest being sort of tallow and steel. New Lather Bros formula is good. The Barrister Man stuff for me that I've got, the Reserve and the Glisson, it's just a little bit behind it now. It's not quite as far up there now. And there's another few others. Moon Soaps is excellent, really good stuff. But this stuff for me pretty much sits at the top on its own, especially in the tallow sort of area when you're using the tallow. But in terms of Vegetal, I mean, you're sort of looking at grooming department and face fat if you want the best of the best in Vegetal, in my opinion, along with maybe Elvado. But other than that was a cracking shave. Brush for today, as you've just seen, was the Simog Owners Club Special Edition. I can't remember how many of these were made. 50% Boar, 50% Badger, or the Boadger as I call it. Beautiful knot, beautiful brush. For the head shave, I used the Coles 5-blade cartridge razor, which is an excellent shaver, very comfortable, smooth, efficient, does a great job. This blood's pissing out of me, I might pass out in a minute. For the neck shave, it was the Gillette Vintage razor, and as you can see, it's chewed up my neck, good and proper. Good on you, Gillette Vintage razor. Just to give you a bit of perspective, this is a really mild razor in terms of feel, whereas yesterday I used a C-plate open comb on the calf, which is quite aggressive, or way more efficient than this, and I think I got one tiny little weeper, so that's chewed me up a bit. Like I say, I use the car razor every day, so I'm really used to it now. I finished off today with Shea Moisture Shave Tea Tree After Shave and Bump Preventer. There is a dribble left in this, and then it's finished, and I may have to opt for a little bit more. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.